Hey guys, welcome to the game room. It's been quite a little while since I've done one of these videos because quite frankly it's been hot as hell out here in the desert, and the only time I can come out here into the game room is late at night, and that's generally when I'm working in the shop, so I haven't had any time to come out here, and I definitely didn't want to come out during the day because you just can't, it's too hot. But I'm back. A couple of episodes ago I talk to you guys about this game mat that I had made. I bought the file from the company in Russia, and then I had it printed at Vistaprint. All of that's in the previous episode, so you can check that out. What I wanted to update you guys on today was what I'm doing here with the bridges and stuff. The way the game mat is designed, I think I showed you on the last video, is that it has these bridges printed here on the surface, and I wanted them to be more three-dimensional because I had a let me get a tank here, especially this one over here. If you set a tank right there, how do you know if it's on the top or if it's underneath? So I wanted something actually three-dimensional so that you could actually drive over the top or drive underneath. So I made these bridges here. I'm still working on them. This is just the very basic design, but they'll go over. And when I did that, of course, I noticed that the old bridge that's printed on there is still there. You can't see the river. So I took the file that this mat was made from, and I cut out a small portion of it, and then actually just with Photoshop just removed the bridge and duplicated some of the river there. So now I can set this here, and while it doesn't match exactly perfectly, some of the color tones are a little different, it's still pretty close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this. Now I've got the river running straight through, and then I'll be able to put this bridge on top once it's finished and painted and everything, and then I'll be able to have a bridge that actually goes over the river. Same thing over here. I wanted to be able, like I said, to put vehicles underneath or on top, so I made this piece here. Same sort of idea. The bridge is taken out, and I think it goes that way. Yeah, that'll go right there, and it'll get attached. So now you have the road going straight through, and then we put this guy on top. And like I said, once it's all done up and painted and everything, it'll look real cool. And then we can put the vehicles on top, and they are actually on top, or they can go underneath, and they're actually underneath. So it makes a little more sense for me. Everything else about it being flat is okay. It was just those two things that kind of bothered me a little bit. So I've got that taken care of now. I've just got to finish these bridges, attach these little pieces that I printed, get them stuck down. Probably just going to use some spray glue and just stick them down. That should be okay. I'm a little concerned about when I roll this thing back up, because this is a flexible vinyl, so it rolls real nice and tight, and where these are basically inkjet photo paper, I'm wondering how that's going to roll up. I don't want them to crack or anything, but I'm just going to take my chances and stick them down and roll it up and see what happens. So that's coming along real nicely. I'll be able to use this game mat here pretty soon once I get these finished. So I'm going to take a break for just a second and come right back and tell you about another project that I've been working on. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I want to talk to you about this project I've been working on. This has been a personal project for me that may or may not end up being, well, it probably will end up being a product for Gamecraft Miniatures. But it's another one of those things that I made for myself because I wanted to, and now that it's almost done, I'll be able to put it in kit form and offer it to you guys if you want it. But what this is a 2/85th scale model. I'm going to say 2/85th scale because I'll explain in a minute. 2/85th scale model of a hotel in Dubai. I make sure I get this right here. It's called the Berj Al Arab, and it is more commonly known as the sail because of the design. It looks like a sail on a ship, kind of like a mast and a sail. And this hotel exists, like I said, in Dubai, on near Jumeirah Beach, It's a really kind of iconic looking building, very cool design, and I thought it would be a good thing for a Middle Eastern city. And also I think it could work really well for like science fiction settings because it is kind of very futuristic and cool looking. So this is just the first prototype that I just kind of slapped together to make sure everything fits properly. It was a real bit of a headache figuring out this piece here, the back piece, because it curves this way, and it also has to have the edges of it have to be curved this way, so it's got some strange curves to it. So it really took some work to get that perfectly fitted there. So like I said, this is just a real quick slap together to make sure everything fits. Now that I've got the design worked out, I'm going to make another one and I'll do a full assembly video showing how it goes together. It actually goes together really simple. There's not much to it. This piece up here, which I think on the real hotel, obviously it's not glued on. I think this is a sort of an observation platform, or there may be a restaurant in there. I don't know, but that piece there is 3D printed with stereolithography. All the rest of it is mat board, with the exception of this little mast here, which in this case is wood. When I make this a proper kit, that might be a piece of plastic, I'm not sure. But it's basically a mat board kit, so it's real simple, real light, real easy to assemble. Obviously you can see there's a little tiny 2/85 scale or 6mm tank right there. It's a big building. I want to talk about the scale of it though for a second, because while it is a big building, it's not a true 2/85 scale building. Most of the stuff that I make, I really try to get the scale exactly right. This model here of this building in 2/85 scale would be about 44 inches tall. It would be approximately twice this size. So what I did was, the real building, you can see the different floors here. Each one of these floors here, there's 28 of them. Each one of them in the real building is actually 2 floors. So what I did was just basically pretended that each one of these was 1 floor. That allowed me to make this model half the size that it really should be. Like I said, it should be about 44 inches tall. It should be way the hell up here. The base of it would be, you know, twice, everything would be twice as big if it was really true 2/85 scale. So actually this model is actually more closer to 3mm than 6mm, but it's one of those things where in 2/85 scale it still looks right, so it's good enough. As a matter of fact, I think you could probably even go up to 10mm, you know, playing what's it called, Drop Zone Commander, game like that. This could probably be a pretty cool piece even in 10mm. As long as you don't really know how tall the real building's supposed to be, the scale doesn't really matter. It's just a big, impressive, cool looking piece. So basically, like I said, what I did is I counted each one of these floors as a single floor. And the way I do that in designing buildings, when they're big sort of commercial buildings, hotels, apartments, things like that, I usually consider that each floor, from the floor to ceiling, is about 8 feet, and that's normal in most buildings. And then in buildings like this, beyond the ceiling, there's another foot or 2 of empty space in there where there's air conditioning, ducting, and things like that on every floor. So just as a reference point for me when I'm scaling things, I figure that each floor is 8 feet plus another 2, which makes it an even 10 feet. That's 120 inches, and in 2/85 scale, that's 0.421 inches, 421 thousandths of an inch. So that's exactly how tall each one of these floors is. So if you take 0.421 multiplied by 28, you're going to get the height of this building to here, and then there's a little more. The total building, I think right now, with all the way up to here, I think if I remember right, it's about 22 inches. I might have written that down here somewhere, and I did not, but I think it's about 22 inches. So it's an impressive looking building, even though, like I said 8 times already, it's actually exactly half the size it really should be if it was 2/85 scale, but I still think it looks cool. I think it's going to be a really neat piece. Not sure how and where and for what I'm going to use it for. It's one of those things where I saw the building and I kind of challenged myself to make a model of it. I wanted something that I could make easily, cheaply, that's easy to assemble, and something that kind of looked the part. So I think I nailed it. I think it's a cool looking building, and maybe someday, just for the heck of it, I'll make one that's actually 285th scale. But for now, I think this looks really cool. So again, I think it's going to be a Gamecraft Miniatures kit in the near future. I can't say exactly when. I actually got this far on it like well over a month ago, and then I just kind of had to put it aside to take care of some other things. So I'm not going to guarantee when this will be done, but it will be done. This one here is probably just going to go in the trash because I'm going to cut a new kit and do an assembly video with photos and everything that shows how it goes together. And then I'll also put the windows on the inside. In the design of this, I actually made some window templates, so that if you have a window material, you can use these templates to cut out the material and then stick it on the inside before you put this curved back piece on. So I'm gonna have some really cool looking blue windows inside there, and I think it's gonna be a pretty nice building. It's got a heliport on top. Like I said, the sort of observation platform or restaurant or bar or whatever this is here, that'll always be a separate 3D printed piece. If I start selling these and they're popular, I may consider making a mold of this and casting them in resin instead of printing each one, because it does take several hours to make each one of these little parts. But there it is. It's kind of cool little piece. Another one of the things that I just kind of made just because I can and because I wanted to. I don't know how practical it is for gaming, but I do like it and think it's kind of cool. So I wanted this episode to kind of just go back to the roots of In the Game Room and kind of show you guys what I'm working on here on this table, what I'm working on with this building. I'll have some other videos coming up pretty soon. We'll talk about some other things. I want to talk about some of the news in Team Yankee, the new German stuff that's come out, and I've got some other topics that I want to touch on pretty soon. But I just want to get this out there and get it out to you guys so you don't think I just completely forgot about doing these videos. Like I said, it's just been super hot, so I haven't been doing very many videos. I haven't done any videos in a little while, but I'm going to try to get back into it. And I've got several conventions coming up. I've got Gen Con coming up. I'm going to do a lot of videos there and audio podcasts. That was just my dog going crazy out there. So I got Gen Con coming up. I'll be doing audio and video podcasts from there. Then there's, kind of big news, Comic-Con. Everybody's heard of Comic-Con, San Diego, New York. I guess it's all over the place. For the first time ever, they're doing a Comic-Con in Palm Springs in August. And that's very close to where I'm at. So while I've never been to Comic-Con before, and I don't even know if it's really kind of my scene or not, because it's so close, I'm going to go check it out. So I'll probably do a video on Comic-Con as well. And then after that, a week later, maybe 2 weeks later, early September, is the convention back in LA again, the Strategicon convention. So I got a lot of events coming up real soon. In the middle of all that, there is sort of a top secret road trip I'm going on with my brother. Not gaming related at all, but it's definitely geek related. So I might do something about that too, and it'll just be a big surprise if I do. I don't want to talk about it yet, but it's coming up. So that's it for now. Just wanted to, like I said, wanted to share what I'm working on and let you know I'm still here. So please leave some comments at itgrpodcast.com, whatever you think of these videos. If you have any suggestions for me for future videos, topic ideas, questions, comments, whatever, please interact with me so I can interact with you. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, keep on gaming.